welcome to tonight's PackTV broadcast of NC State Men's Club Lacrosse. NC State will be taking on UNC Chapel Hill tonight, and it's the first game of the season for both teams, and it's for a good cause. Laura, can you expand upon that?
Yeah, so today we have two phenomenal teams, NC State and UNC Lacrosse, supporting the Hurricane Florence Relief Fund, thanks to the North Carolina Assistance Fund that came out, and they're doing a raffle to support them with different items like Chipotle gift cards and Wolfpack Red and White Shop clothing. So it's going to be an awesome event. We hope y'all can support them and come out to the game.
Great. I'm Blake Charlton, alongside me Laura Sheck. It's going to be a very interesting matchup for sure, just being the first game of the season for both teams. One thing to note though, NC State did lose a lot of leadership this coming up season. Laura, can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so NC State came this season after losing 16 seniors, and UNC also lost their whole leadership team. So with a lot of transition for both teams, they don't know how they're going to play, and hopefully they'll come out and show us what they've got.
Absolutely. As always, leadership and having a bunch of upperclassmen does play a pretty critical role in just kind of the team chemistry. You've had a lot of players play together for a long time. Usually, they're able to play a lot more fluidly with each other. So it'll definitely be an interesting matchup tonight. We'll be right back with the first half of action on PackTV. Welcome back to PackTV. We're about to get this first half of action underway. NC State taking on the UNC Men's Club Lacrosse team. I'm Blake Charlton, alongside me Laura Sheck. We're going to see our first face-off here. And we are underway here down on Lower Method Field. And we already have a quick stoppage of play. NC State going to already make a few substitutions, and they're going to start with the ball on UNC's half. Looks like Evan Ryer is going to move it back behind the crease to Hank Moss. We're going to see NC State try and possess the ball here a little bit, try and get a feel for UNC's defense. Just kind of poke at them a little bit, and that's going to go right out of play. Perhaps a lack of communication there or something.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of different players play today, with the coach Woods saying that they just don't know how to expect the players to perform.
Absolutely. NC State with the quick interception there. However, UNC looking like they're able to all right, it's going to go in NC State's favor. We're going to see Tobin start with the ball. Going to work down that right side of the field. Little poke check there from the UNC defender. Going to move behind crease. NC State just kind of working it around, maybe trying to tire out UNC's defense early. And as we mentioned earlier in our pre-game show, both teams playing with a very young team. It's going to be a very new, unexperienced side from both UNC and NC State.
In fact, the captain was saying that they only have 7 upperclassmen out of 32 guys on the team, so just a small percent of the team having that upperclassman experience.
Hopefully that upperclassman experience will play a big role here for NC State. As they lose the ball there, UNC now able to gain their first offensive possession. UNC working it around. Again, just trying to get a feel for the defense of NC State. Going to be a wayward pass there, though. They're going to maintain possession. That was almost a large slip up there by Oliver. Oh, man.
It'll be interesting to see how Adam Wagner, the goalkeeper, does today, as he just re-injured his thumb and broke his thumb. So surprising seeing him starting, but excited to see how he can perform even with that limitation physically.
Absolutely. That's going to play a huge role. Maybe, some lacrosse teams do favor using their goalkeepers, kind of like another defender, just kind of utilize them to play it back if they need to. Wonder if NC State will kind of shift their game plan maybe a little bit, just to kind of, I guess you could say, handicap their goalkeeper there. NC State loses possession though, and UNC able to come away with the ball. A lot of wayward passes in this first few minutes of the half. NC State's going to get a nice run though. Oh my goodness, he just got... That was a great play there by the UNC keeper, just to come out and try and interrupt that pass. It clearly got the NC State offensive player, I believe that was Walls there, trying to get that offensive possession going. Just couldn't find the back of the net though. Great possession there for NC State, a great opportunity. Maybe a little slip up there by the UNC defense.
In addition to NC State missing a lot of their leadership, they're also missing their coach, who just, his wife had a baby today. So they have some assistant coaches stepping in to play the role of head coach today, as well as the players missing out on having their key leadership figure there.
It will be a very interesting sort of challenge for NC State, not having their key leader. They seem to be doing okay thus far. A lot of, just a plethora of individuals in that back corner as UNC plays it right across the middle, running in. That was a beautiful cut there by the UNC offensive player rather. An excellent movement there. That's going to put UNC up 1-0 on NC State.
I think we have the goalie looking a little bit nervous today, don't you think?
Possibly, yes. That's a valid argument there. We're going to see the second face-off tonight. NC State going to look for the equalizer here. If they could win this face-off to maintain that first possession, that'll definitely put them at a great advantage. And they do. We're going to see NC State work the ball around that right side of the field. They seem to favor the right side just a little bit as they play it behind goal. Oh, we're going to see a quick little movement. He's going to play it low. The goalie able to stop it, though. And we're going to see the UNC counter. Look at the wheels there on Flessner. As they work that right side. It seems to be teams just favoring that right side. As I say that, working it over to the left. We see UNC trying to maintain that possession as they work the ball from left to right and right back. Gonna see Boone with it now. Excuse me, that's Mishra, rather. He's gonna make a move inside. NC State's gonna interrupt that pass, though.
I think as they start getting in a rhythm, you'll start seeing communication increase and players get a rhythm and figure out different roles that each player can play on the field.
Absolutely, and like we mentioned, with a younger team, it's going to take perhaps a quarter or two for that chemistry to form. Never mind, we're going to see the beautiful pass there coming from Evan Ryder. Excellent. With a younger team, it's going to take perhaps a quarter or two.
I'm going to play to tie the game, which is good to at least stay neck and neck the first quarter and make sure that they're not falling behind quickly.
For sure. Don't want to fall behind early, force yourself to have to dig out of the hole. We'll see our third face-off. If I'm not mistaken, NC State's won the first two. And that's one thing you have to keep in mind, though. Face-offs play a huge role just with the amount of possession that each face-off grants. See NC State's going to be able to come away with the ball there. And once again, working down that right side is Risk. And he's going to, oh wow, beautiful interception there with the long stick there. Beautiful from Christian Randolph as he takes it for himself. And UNC is just going to kind of slow things down a little bit, able to maintain possession here. Working it around the top, kind of getting like a little reconnaissance on the NC State defense, trying to find perhaps a weakness. As we see Oliver put on the moves, it looks like NC State's going to lose, or rather UNC is going to lose that possession. And that's going to go right out of play there. A great defensive effort. And UNC is just going to take it right to NC State. Beautiful move there. Good save. Oh, never mind. It went right off the stick of Wagner.
And those kind of small errors just have to be corrected before the end of the first half.
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, he had the initial save. He did get at least something on it. He just wasn't able to, I guess, he got a little lost there as the ball just kind of trickled into the back of the net. That's definitely going to be a morale kind of degrader, I guess you could say. It's just not something you want to see. We're going to see another face-off here. NC State able to come away with the first 3, whether by a penalty or foul or just sheer strength. And it looks like they're going to win their 4th. UNC able to apply the pressure, though. Oh, that's going to go straight up to the NC State forward. And he's just going to kick it back out just to slow things down a little bit more. Get their offense going. They're really taking their time here. They're going to make a quick sub. And they're going to work it around that left side. Back up to point with Baker. He's going to apply some pressure. He's going to take a shot. That's going to go wide. I believe they may have gotten a hand on it, or a stick rather. UNC is going to apply the counter, though. A little bit of a misplay there. Oh, wayward pass, however. Nope, they're not going to get the shot. It's going to be NC State ball. We're going to see Wagner play it out from the back.
And Evan Ryer has been a dominant force as a forward, always being ready to pick up the ball and make a play.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a beautiful stick check there, though, and UNC is able to come away with the ball. See Ozell take it for himself. He's going to just kick it back out. A lot of possession play here. That's something that you may not see too often in, club sports. A lot of club sports, they just kind of, at least from my own experience, a lot of times they'll just kind of go straight at the goalkeepers of the opposing teams just to try and get something off. But both teams here playing a very good, calm, collected. Oh, he's going to lose a stick there. That's going to be a flag. But both teams playing a pretty methodical offense. That's going to go against NC State, though. Gonna be UNC ball coming in on that left side of goal. Only a little over, or excuse me, a little under 5 minutes left to play here in this first quarter. UNC up on NC State 2-1.
And this is a pretty low-scoring game for a first quarter of lacrosse. It just goes to show the freshness of the team and the lack of experience that's going in as they try to figure out how to score.
How to pry at both opposing defenses. Beautiful interception there with the high stick. Looks like Benedict taking the ball downfield by himself. However, he's going to throw it off the UNC defender. And UNC is going to be able to maintain possession on that right side, running the counter down the field. And they're just going to kick it right back out, set up their offense, start swinging it around, try and find some sort of weakness through. You can see a back cutter wide open, but no one there to make the pass. UNC working the ball around. See Lee taking the ball there, trying to put some sort of move. He's going to play it right through the middle. Oh, beautiful pass there. Wagner able to come away with it though. Intercepted. That was a great cut there from UNC. But NC State's going to run this counter. And now they're just going to set up their offense. You see Walls there kind of facilitating. I'm going to play it right back up to the point man, Christopher Schultz, also the president of the club lacrosse team there. Not a great pass you want to see coming from your president, maybe just a lack of communication there. Perhaps Parker Staten wasn't ready for it, but that's going to go for UNC.
And that's just a small example of some of the communication issues. Maybe not communicating that you're about to pass or being ready for those passes. Again, another communication error right there.
That was Tobin who just kind of let the ball go right off of his stick out of play. UNC is going to take the ball here. They're going to play it back up to point. He's just kind of seeing what's in front of him. UNC working the ball around the back of net, off to the right, back up to point, just making a giant circle around the NC State defense. However, we're going to see a little bit of an attack as they continue. Ooh, a great cut through the middle there. However, that's going to go a little off. That may be a foul on NC State. That is going to be pushing the back. UNC is going to come away with it as they reset their offense. See Mousy taking point. He's just going to whip it straight out of play though. And we're going to see Wagner take it here. Now NC State's going to have to work it from the back. We see a few substitutions coming in from both sides. Get a set of fresh legs in there.
And one advantage that you can tell UNC has is they brought some of their varsity players down this year to play club, just not able to meet the demands of the varsity team and play club. And you're seeing that talent as UNC drives their plays.
That's going to go out of play. However, that's going to be a penalty. I believe that was on UNC. We're going to see NC State keep the ball in UNC's third. Everybody just trying to get their shape. A few subs coming in and out. We're going to see Chris Schultz take the point for State. He's going to get the ball now. We're going to see a long shot blocked there from the UNC defense, or midfielder rather. Or excuse me, that was the defenseman there.
There's just a lot of rushing to score instead of running the plays, and I think that's just going to be crucial in figuring out how to set up those plays.
Absolutely. And a little bit of a pressure there applied from NC State. We're going to see Schultz come away with the ball. And he's just going to take a shot. That's going to be blocked there, though. Great save from Stratton. And now UNC's going to have to play it out of the back. Beautiful pass there. See Brandenburg take it up, pass it out wide to his winger. Not out of play, though, as the battle in the corner commences. Looks like NC State's going to come away with it. Maybe not.
And they do.
They do. What do you know? They're going to play it back to Wagner, who's... Oh, goodness, that was almost a crucial error. Could have went out of play for another UNC throw-in. However, it's going to be 2-1 at the end of our first quarter of action. UNC up on NC State. Pretty solid first quarter. Not a lot of scoring. You could attribute that to both the inexperience and the defense.
I think there's just been a lot of small errors that need to be corrected. There's a lot of sloppiness that's going on, and that just has to be fixed. And
I believe we're gonna see a replay. We're gonna see a replay for NC State's goal.
Figure out different roles that each player can play on the field.
Absolutely, and like we mentioned, with a younger team, it's going to take perhaps a quarter or two for that chemistry to form. Having that one goal does show that, we can score on this defense. Coming into the second quarter being down 2-0, it may be a little bit of a sort of downer that, they may think, hey, maybe we can't score on these guys, but only being down one, able to put one in the back of the net, really does help kind of boost the morale of this NC State team, being as inexperienced as they are.
And they do have some awesome leadership at goal, with both of their goalies being their team captain or president. So they have some morale boosters from each end of the field.
There you go. NC State, the interesting thing, though, as you mentioned, UNC bringing down some varsity players, that is going to be a difficult task to deal with. NC State, though, they seem to be very motivated with this club lacrosse team, because obviously NC State doesn't have a varsity level lacrosse team. So they truly love the game of lacrosse just to be out here to play club. And you can just tell from the size of their team, NC State has got a lot of young men ready to just get at it with UNC. And that's another thing too, just going up against UNC, the old classic rivalry between NC State and UNC, doesn't really get much better than that. As both teams kind of talk it out, what needs to be done, what needs to be corrected. NC State hopefully going to look for the equalizer early, just to kind of start things off on a high note in this second quarter of action. Going to be another 15 minutes before halftime. UNC up 2-1 on NC State.
And Coach Dunaway, before the game, emphasized over and over that they just didn't know what to expect and didn't know how the team would perform. And I think we're seeing that. They don't know what to expect each quarter, so we may see a phenomenal second quarter and we may see a rough second quarter. So that's what's part of the exciting nature of this first half of the season.
And it just being, the first game for both teams, you do have to kind of get the kinks out. Maybe the first quarter just kind of goes to show, like, there are some kinks that need to be adjusted, and hopefully with that quarter break we'll be able to
see NC State equalize here. We're going to see the 5th face-off, though. NC State able to win the first 4. Just kind of kicking the ball around there. Nobody's able to maintain possession yet, but it looks like we're going to see a foul. Waiting for the official's call. I believe that's going to go against UNC. Indeed, we're going to see NC State maintain possession. Maybe not. Refs wanting to reset. Now we're going to see NC State with their first offensive possession of this quarter.
And the guys really got fired up after that aggressive hit in the back by UNC. And it just goes to show the nature of the game. Very aggressive, but very defensive to support each other.
The beautiful thing of lacrosse, it's like a mix of soccer and hockey. There's a lot of hits. It's not quite as, uneventful as soccer may be. As NC State looks to put the moves on UNC early. That was a great first opportunity, not able to capitalize though, and it's just going to be a complete madhouse there in the middle. UNC able to come away with it. That was a beautiful forward pass. UNC going to have their first offensive possession of the second quarter as they work it up top. UNC working it around goal. They really do enjoy just kind of swinging the ball all the way around in a large circle around the crease, just to keep the defense moving, maybe find someone out of position. Beautiful pass in the middle there. Great shot, however, deflected by the looks of it. That's going to go for UNC. They were able to get to the touchline first. Oh, great poke check there, and NC State's able to come away with it. That's Jason Seal playing it up. That's going to be intercepted from the looks of it, and UNC is going to come away with it.
And that's just another error, just being more intentional with the passing and making sure the ball gets to the right person every single time is something crucial for NC State to start doing and working on.
Absolutely, just a silly pass there to kind of lose possession. You don't want to see that, especially being down 2-1. As UNC works it back out up top to Oliver. Oliver going to take a shot from distance. That's going to be blocked from the NC State defense by the looks of it, as UNC looks to capitalize on that rebound. Beautiful entry pass. That goes out wide to the UNC forward though. NC State able to come away with the ball. They're going to kick it back out to Wagner, who's going to play it back there to Seal. Just going to have right back to Wagner just to kind of slow things down a little bit, find the open man. You see Connor Boyle there checking in for his goalkeeper, giving him an open option. Sean Tobin there. It doesn't look like they were able to get the clearance off though. And UNC's gonna come away with the ball here. Oliver running the point. He's gonna play it right in the middle. Ooh, right out of his stick. Now we're just gonna see a tussle for the ball. I believe that's gonna be a penalty against NC State.
NC State is just racking up the penalties this first half, which seems to convert a lot of opportunities for UNC or lose a lot of opportunities for them, something that they'll have to fine-tune quickly.
Absolutely beautiful pass there into the middle. Great block there, though, from Wagner. And luckily this one didn't trickle into the back of the net. Wagner gonna try and put the moves on. Goalkeepers can be forwards too. Great play there from Wagner. Not a good pass though. NC State, however, going to maintain possession. That's Tobin running up to get the ball. He's going to trip though. And now NC State's going to slow things down a little bit. That's going to be Risk getting the ball. However, you're going to see a sort of mass substitution here. I'm a little we're just going to see a timeout from NC State. I was confused for a second. I didn't hear the timeout called.
I didn't either.
So, obviously, NC State's down 1-2 right now. What's NC State going to have to do just to try and find their way back into this game? Obviously, only being down 1, they're not out of it. They can easily equalize here. But just finding that equalizer, what's it going to take?
Yeah, I think the first thing, there's a couple things they have to do, but I think the first thing is just not making those small errors that they continue to make. The second thing is finding a way to communicate better. I feel like a lot of times they're thinking that somebody's going to pass to one direction and it ends up passing the other direction. Communicating, using their words, verbalizing, whether it's through symbols or words, they've got to figure something out too. And then I think the third thing is figuring out who's the leader on the field. They don't seem to have a dominant leader on the field right now, and that's something that UNC has shown to be true through a couple of their forwards showing their dominance. So.
Absolutely. NC State going to need to find, obviously, the equalizer here. Not a lot of goals being scored, though. Only 2-1. We're 5 minutes into this second half. 10 and a half left on the clock.
And I think, again, it just shows the strength of the defenses on both teams, able to block so many goals, and the strength of the goalkeepers, and then the lack of experience on forward and fielders, and that's really shining through in this second quarter.
Yeah, that's the thing. There have been a number of opportunities. It's just the defenses and goalkeepers of both sides have proven they are able to keep the ball out of the net. Now we're going to see the restart. NC State there with Risk. And we are underway here after that timeout. I'll play it back up to Christopher Schultz, running the point. You know, as president, he does want to fulfill that leadership role, and he takes a long shot. Beautiful save there, though.
I think the coach made that timeout choice after a series of errors that should not have happened, and seeing those errors and hoping that they can realize them and correct them. Absolutely.
Beautiful pass there. We're going to see a trip, though. That's definitely going to be a flag. Yep. NC State almost come away with it. However, and you can hear possibly the fans, they're allowed to hit their stick, not allowed to trip them.
The whole crowd seems upset about that call and upset about the aggressive nature of that NC State defense.
Mousy going to take the ball here, though, from the ref to restart. And once again, UNC working the ball around. We're going to see quite a rip there, though, from UNC. Wagner able to get a stick on that, though. And now we're going to see NC State try and pull off a counter to equalize. Beautiful pass there up to the middle. Little lob pass there. Great defense, though, from UNC. We're going to see Oliver come away with it and play it across the middle. Wayward pass, but UNC still able to maintain possession before it goes out of bounds. Try to get the poke check there. Woo!
Wagner just seems so nervous through his juggling of the ball and not assertiveness. And I think that's just something that is going to take time or healing of his thumb before he
yeah,
can
that's true.
Bring that back.
NC State able to intercept it there, though. That's going to be Baker running the ball down the field. Ooh! Once again, like you mentioned, those silly errors. Ooh, beautiful pass in there, though. Moss able to collect that one and put it into the back of the net. What looked almost negative turned into a positive there for NC State. They are able to find the back of the net, equalize 2-2. Beautiful movement there. Intercept it there, though. That's going to be Baker. In there, though. UNC 2, NC State 2. And now we're going to see another face-off. NC State proving themselves pretty dominant on the face-offs thus far. We're going to see, hopefully, another win for NC State. They haven't been able to take the lead in this first half of action yet. We'll have to see if by winning this face-off they can maintain possession, get their first lead of the game.
And they've won every single face-off this game, which I think is phenomenal that they've won all 5.
It definitely plays a huge role in just giving yourself the advantage. It's the small things that really contribute largely. That's going to go over the head of everybody, and NC State not able to come away with it. Yes, they are. Never mind. For a second, I thought that the UNC individual was going to go for the ball rather than the player, but I suppose not, as NC State gets it behind crease. And now we're just going to see NC State work it around. I'm going to see possibly they're going to take their first lead of the night. Beautiful move there, though. That was Jacob Walls. Just put him through the spin cycle and just found the upper right corner of the net. NC State's going to take its first lead of the night, 3-2. I got to say, that was definitely the best way to capitalize on scoring to even it up. Able to get that lead for the first time definitely boosts the self-confidence of the team. They're able to go at them and get the lead. We'll have to see if UNC can answer.
And what a way to take advantage of that momentum that they got after that second goal and convert it into another goal.
NC State perfect on the face-offs thus far. And that perfect reign is going to end there, I believe. We're going to see flag go against NC State. I believe it was against NC State. Oh, maybe not. From the looks of it, it looked like.
And NC State finally learning how to avoid penalties and gain penalties in their favor, which has been something crucial as they've cleaned up some of the mess, it looks like, this quarter.
We're going to see Risk take point, though. He's going to be the point guard of this offense now once we get the restart underway. NC State going to look for that right side there. Baker swinging it out wide to Schultz. And NC State just trying to get these quick passes off, and that ends up going south. Ooh, and that's going to trickle back to the keeper there, Stratton. We're going to see a long pass go right over the head. It's going to stay in play, maybe not. Oh, yep, nope, that's going to go. Oh, that's going to be a push against NC State.
And the fans a little bit upset about that call, as I think there was some gray area on that call right there.
Oliver going to take it, though, kick it out up to the back of the crease. UNC working it around the back of the net. Just taking their time, trying to find that equalizing goal. We're going to see the cut in, the shot, that's going to go up. That's going to go for UNC. They were the closest to the touchline. High shot there, not on target, but that was a heck of a bullet.
And those lacrosse balls hurt when you get hit. They do not feel good.
That's going to be black ball, though. Wagner going to take it here. See NC State. The long pass, that's going to go right out of play. Put a little bit of too much strength behind that one. He's going to have to Stop going to the weight room for a week or so. Now UNC going to restart. Kicking it back through their keeper, Stratton. That's going to go over everybody's head and right to the NC State defenseman. NC State's going to run away with it. Nice move there by Ballsbow. However, a little bit of a scruffle going on. Hit his stick though. That's not going to be a penalty, I don't believe. And NC State's going to run away with it. Kick it up to Schultz. Going to set up the offense.
And Schultz has really emerged as a leader this quarter, really setting up those plays and making sure that they're able to execute cleanly and without penalties.
As you mentioned before, NC State looking for someone to kind of take hold of that leadership role. Who else but the president, Chris Schultz? Gonna see Parker Staton lose the ball there though. UNC gonna come away with it. Now we're gonna see the counter from UNC down that left side of the field. UNC gonna kick it out wide to the right. Beautiful pass there. We're gonna see a wide open lane. That was a beautiful pass there. Through the middle. Absolutely flawless. And that may have just been a sort of miscommunication there from NC State. Just kind of got out of position there on the defensive side. That's going to tie it up 3-3 with 5.5 left in this first half of action. We're going to see NC State hopefully stay perfect on these face-offs. NC State gonna come away with it there. He's just gonna go right by the UNC midfielder. Now NC State's gonna play it through the right side. Gonna get kicking in the middle. It's gonna fall right back out to rebound to the NC State player. See Alex Service holding point here. Kicking out to Malik. Or excuse me, that's Moss. Here's Ryer. Service with it. Now NC State still poking at the UNC defense, trying to get them out of position by swinging it back and forth. Ooh, great poke check there to come out, but it goes to the NC State side. That's going to be a penalty against NC State. UNC restarting with possession.
And they are quickly driving this time. I think they feel some urgency going into the second half.
Want to get ahead in these last 4 minutes of play. They were ahead earlier, and that's just going to go underneath the stick, but he's able to maintain possession. You see NC State trying to get the poke check there. Ooh, the speed there. That's going to pop out. And we're going to kick it back to Wagner to set up the clearance. Wagner going to play it to the right. All right, we're going to see Ryer with the speed take it down that right side. He's going to take a shot, and that's going to go in. Beautiful solo run there from Ryer. That was great placement there, too. Lower left. NC State's going to come back up on top 4-3. Beautiful pass there from the back to get up to the open man in Ryer and just whip it lower left to put NC State ahead.
And I think that was a crucial play as they finished the last couple minutes of this half. That was a huge play in getting that lead.
For sure, especially considering, as you mentioned, UNC kind of pushing the tempo there, kind of giving the NC State defense a little scare. NC State able to relax a little bit. They're up 4-3. Not relax too much, though. We're going to see another face-off. NC State proven dominant so far on these face-offs. A little over 3 minutes left to play in this first half. And NC State gonna win another face-off. Beautiful face-off work. That's gonna be a wayward pass though to the high stick of the UNC defense. That was Ozell with the interception. He's just gonna take it for himself. Beautiful shot there. We're gonna see a flag though against NC State. Ozell stays down. Now that NC State has the ball, we're gonna cut the action now with Ozell on the ground. See everybody get on their one knee.
He looks like he is in a lot of pain.
Yes,
Ripping his helmet off. Oh, he's up though.
He's up. That's the good news. He's talking to the ref. Maybe a little confused, but we're gonna cut to commercial real quick though. We'll be right back with the first half of action for NC State against UNC.
NC State Television is the Wolfpack's new home for academic events on campus. Missed an interesting talk? Want to catch up on last week's conference? Or did your friend just give a great presentation that you have to see? Check out NC State TV on Wolf TV channel 32.1 and on our new Roku and Apple TV apps.
And we're back. Ozell there walked off the field under his own power with the trainer. Just had to maybe got the wind knocked out of him or something. Luckily though, he's able to walk off, obviously. He took off his jersey though on the sidelines though. It may be more serious than we initially thought.
And in this sport, concussions are something that happens so frequently, so they're probably just doing concussion protocol, making sure he's good, checking and making sure there's no need to take him to the hospital.
Right. As UNC works it around. A little slip up there. Oh, the NC State player loses stick though. So UNC is able to maintain possession. We're going to see a rip of a shot. Oh, that one didn't even look interesting. I couldn't even tell if that was a pass or a shot. Nonetheless, beautiful from UNC's offense.
And UNC kind of seemed angry after that. They seemed like they wanted to fight somebody, and
they just translated that anger into a goal to equalize. That's going to be 4-4 with a little over 2 minutes left to play in this first half. That was a great way to kind of restart the game for UNC for sure after that injury. Now NC State will have to see if they can take the lead back or if UNC can even win a face-off, which they did, by the looks of it, and then lose possession immediately. Never mind, they get it right back.
They just seem so fired up right now.
Right after that injury, they a little angry at NC State. Maybe it'll translate into rather than a physical altercation, but an altercation on the scoreboard. As we see quite a rough duo going on right there. UNC working it around. There's going to be a beautiful cut through the middle. NC State's going to come away with it, perhaps. Still on the ground. Still on the ground. Just trying to find someone who will assert. Everybody lost sight of it for a second there. UNC comes away with it, though. And now they're going to have to just calm down and set up the offense after that. We're going to see a shot, though. Beautiful save there from Wagner, right into his net.
And that save was crucial with less than a minute to go in this half.
That was a great shot there by Rodriguez, too. It was just an even better save by Wagner. As we see Risk take the ball on that right side. Only 43 seconds left in this first half of action. We're going to see a stoppage of play. I believe it's going to be another timeout called, though. Probably a smart thing to do. You've got 43 seconds left. You kind of want to set something up to try and give yourself an opportunity to score. Go into this second half with a lead. The teams are probably going to be talking out strategy. UNC how to defend this last 43 seconds. NC State how to capitalize on this opportunity given to them.
And UNC's player still has not gone back in that jersey. Must seem that he's out for the rest of the game, or at least the rest of the half for sure.
And he may have, I mean, I've done it before, take off the jersey just in frustration, but you are right. By the looks of it, it doesn't look like he'll be at least coming in for the rest of this half. Maybe at halftime he can kind of get out there and do some warm-ups to try and get back into the swing of things, but interesting, though. We'll have to see if that plays any role in how UNC adapts to that situation.
And he was probably their strongest attack and on their field at that time.
He was definitely quite a dominant force as he, took the ball from practically coast to coast by himself before getting that foul called. NC State and UNC back out on the field, though. Now we're going to see, I believe that's Baker with the ball up top for NC State. Oh, no, excuse me. Passed it down to, I believe that's Ryder. Let's see. Got 20 seconds left on the clock as NC State about loses possession. UNC kicking the ball up front. Oh, he's going to get his stick caught there, though. Beautiful check there. Schultz going to come away with it, and he's going to run it up. Only 5 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a shot off. He plays it up top to Ryer. Ryer's going to throw it right over the net, and that's going to do it for the first half of action. 4-4 is the score at halftime. NC State looking better in the second quarter, that's for sure. Obviously, a few more goals scored in that second quarter. We're going to have about 10 minutes here in this halftime, though, before we get you back into this second half of action.
Welcome back to our PackTV broadcast of NC State men's lacrosse going up against UNC Chapel Hill. I'm Blake Challerton, alongside me, Laura Scheck. It was a very interesting first half of action as NC State and UNC are level at 4-4. NC State had a little bit of a struggle there in the first quarter of action, but they were able to maybe rework their offense or something in the second quarter. What do you see from that transfer from the first quarter to the second?
Yeah, I think the first quarter where it's just a lot of sloppy mistakes and a lot of inexperience shining through those freshmen. And then the second quarter, they realized their mistakes. Coach yelled at them a little bit between quarters and made some timeout decisions. And then they picked it up and stopped making the mistakes that they did. And there were a lot less flags on State the second quarter, too, which I think played a huge factor in that second half performance.
Absolutely. And another thing that we mentioned during our broadcast, NC State, being a young team, are kind of looking for that leadership role. We did see sort of the transition from first quarter to second where a leader was kind of formed, Chris Schultz. So how do you think that maybe decision was made, or was it just kind of like, hey, I'm going to cement myself as the president, I'm going to take the leadership role, and we're going to get back into this thing?
I think there was a mix of things that went on One of those being that as president, it is his responsibility as one of the 7 upperclassmen to take that role and take that step of leadership. And then I think another thing is that he realized that if nobody was going to emerge, that it was his responsibility, and he had to lead these guys that don't really know the rhythm of the team and the history of the team as well. And I think that was a huge force. And one advantage is he's being coached directly by a former UNC varsity coach. Coach Woods has been mentoring him and guiding him through this process.
And definitely having a varsity coach is going to play a huge factor for sure. We'll be back with a few replays from the first half. We're going to see a few replays from the first half of action. The first goal from NC State, it was a beautiful pass from Risk to Ryer, where he was able to just really capitalize on that opportunity. You see a beautiful shot there, though, able to get it right past the goalkeeper. Really a beautiful execution, though, from NC State. Just be able to get that goal to get it equalizer. Now for the second goal, though, this was a little bit of a mix-up there in the middle portion of the goal. You see a little bit of maybe miscommunication, but Moss is able to come away with the ball after a beautiful pass to the inside where he just lobs it right over the keeper. It was a beautiful collision and pretty good luck on the side of NC State, though, for sure.
Face off here, though. NC State still dominant in the face-offs, though. But that's going to be NC State, excuse me, UNC ball there, though. Start off with the ball for this second half of action. That's Sean Tobin there, kicking it up to Baker, who kicks it out wide to Ryer, who had that beautiful first goal for NC State. Now, NC State looking to find an opening. Ooh, beautiful move there. He's going to play it low. That's going to go what looks like off the keeper's leg. Fair save, though, by Stratton. Now we're going to see a long throw go. Ooh, that was a decent chance. A good idea, but NC State able to come away with it. Going to play it to the middle. We're going to see a long shot there. It looks like it deflected off, and NC State's going to maintain possession. That was a beautiful reaction time there. Ooh, almost trickled into the back of net. UNC is going to get a hold of it, though. Stratton trying to find the open man. He goes for another long-distance throw, and that's going to be intercepted by NC State again. Beautiful cross through the middle. Not a great shot, though. Now we're seeing Ryer kick it up to, I believe that's Tobin. Tobin over to Schultz. Schultz to Parker Stadden. Back to Schultz, who we mentioned is looking like the leader for this NC State team. He's going to take a shot. That's going to go wide left.
And NC State has dominated this quarter so far, but unable to convert into goals.
So far, UNC hasn't even made it on NC State's half yet in these first few minutes. NC State looking to maintain that possession. That's Staten. He's going to play it into Schultz. Schultz looking to put a quick move. Ooh, just a beautiful move there from Schultz. That's going to go right underneath the keeper's legs by the looks of it. Great pass from Staten to Schultz. And that's going to put NC State back on top 5-4 with a little over 12 minutes.
And you can tell how excited they are about that goal. Really, Chris Schultz showing his leadership and congratulating the guys with the assist and getting really excited over that big goal to start the second half.
Definitely a good way to start the second half, dominating possession, scoring the goal. Really see if it would set a trend for the rest of this quarter.
And let's see if they can maintain that momentum in this quarter. Keep it up.
They came out strong, that's for sure. And they're going to get the ball back. That's Staten. Kicking out to Ryer. Ryer hits a cutting. Wow, that was beautiful. He hit the cutting Elliot Benedict for that beautiful assist. And he plays it right underneath the keeper's legs and stick by the looks of it. That's going to be 6-4 in favor of NC State. Two very, very quick goals in these first not even 3 minutes of action.
And Ryer's just a freshman, already showing his dominance for the NC State club lacrosse team. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Great assists, and he has at least one assist, and he has that goal from earlier. Clearly that halftime worked wonders for NC State. Up now by 2. That's going to go against UNC. We're going to see NC State with possession once more. I don't even think the ball has stayed on NC State's half for more than 30 seconds total. Now we see Parker come out. Now NC State looking to make something of this. That's Baker. He's going to take a shot wide. Moss able to keep possession for NC State by sticking his stick out. Now we're going to see Moss from the back of the net. He's going to make a mad dash for that right side. Play it up to Risk. Risk to Bigelow. He's just going to take it all the way around. Kick it out to Baker. He's going to play it back to Bigelow. He's going to take a shot. That's going to go wide left. However, NC State's there to collect it. Oh, that's just going to go right over everybody's head and not out of play, though. Oh, never mind. He tries to pick it up and it bounces right off his leg. This is going to be the first actual possession that UNC is going to have this half, by the looks of it, if they can not make a wayward pass. Great check there, though. UNC, oh, it's going to be a flag too, actually. As Zorky plays it back behind goal. Now UNC getting their first offensive possession of this half. You'd think they want to hold on to the ball for a little bit just to give their defense a break. Ooh, beautiful shot there from distance. I believe that was Tyler Quook. Great way to get yourselves back in this game, though. Just a quick offensive possession. Didn't take a lot of time. Just whipped it. That's going to be 6-5 in favor of NC State.
And NC State has to respond with another goal to keep that couple goal lead to give them some safety going into the end of the second half.
They're up by 1, but obviously you want a little bit more. We're going to see another face-off, which NC State has all but dominated. (6-5) with 10.5 left in this third quarter. UNC able to come away with that one, though. That's Oliver. Now UNC, we'll have to see. Difficult to tell on that far side, but UNC is going to maintain possession. We'll have to see if they can either, I mean, clearly it worked for them last time trying to get that quick goal off. We'll have to see if they try for the same strategy or maybe try and work it around as Oliver sets up the offense.
If you look at their bench, you'll see that they have no coach today. They said that this season they do not have a coach that has stepped out to help them, so it's solely run by the students and led by the presidents and captains.
That's interesting, especially considering, you know, you want to have a coach to have that sort of leadership role as a part of your team, someone who you can look to for answers of any questions you may have or just general strategy. But obviously they're only down 1, so it seems to be working at least moderately well for them. I'm sure having varsity players does help a little bit.
And they just bring that whole new level of leadership and expertise as they've played at the top level of college.
Absolutely.
Lacrosse.
And UNC's lacrosse team is definitely not a joke. That's going to go NC State's way. Now NC State's going to take it from the back. Looks like a new keeper for NC State as well. I believe that's Ryan Babcock.
Be interesting to know why that keeper change happened.
Maybe his broken thumb was ailing him. I'm surprised he gave it that first half for sure. That was incredible.
And that's just an error that shouldn't be happening, but he was able to pick it up, I guess.
Wall's able to kind of collect that one there. Now we're going to see Service lead the offense here. Going to kick it out to Moss. Moss to Walls again. Walls to Service. Service down to Staten. Just going to play at the back of the net. We're going to see a short little run here from Ryer. Ryer's going to whip it down right into the lower left corner of the net. Beautiful shot there from Ryer.
That is another goal by Ryer, the freshman.
Clearly they don't need upperclassmen if they have people like Ryer on their team. He's Mr. Do-It-All. Assists, goals, movement, whatever you need him to be. That's going to put NC State up 7-5. 7:47 left. NC State looking to win another face-off. UNC was able to come away with the last one. One could argue that was one of their first to actually win. It looks like they're going to step away from the center circle part that's a little destroyed by the face-off. And we are underway. Just a sheer dominance on that center circle. But it looks like UNC's able to poke it away. Now they're going to get their own offensive possession. That was an interesting pass all the way across the field. Now UNC going to slow things down a little bit. Randolph with it now. Now they're going to play on that right side of the field. That was Rodriguez. Rodriguez kicks it back behind goal. Now he's going to try and put some moves on Sutton, but he's just not going to. Beautiful pass there to find the open man cutting in. That was Osborne with the goal there. Beautiful movement inside though. And that's going to put UNC within one. A lot of back and forth in this second half of action so far. Seemingly NC State started off strong and it's just been back and forth since then. A little under 7 minutes left. NC State up 1. 7 minutes left in this third quarter. NC State gonna run away with this one. Smart play to bring it back, just to keep that possession. Pass it straight up to Staten, who's gonna take it for himself and gonna work his way back out. He's gonna pass it over to Ryer. Ryer out to Moss. And Moss is gonna find the substitute, Tobin, who's going to play it across to Risk. Now NC State moving the ball around. Just setting up their offense. Being up 1 in this second half, you'd think they want to take a lot of time off the clock with each possession as Risk plays it through the middle. We're going to see a shot there. Beautiful bouncing shot from Staten. He just played that one right on the ground, and it took a interesting hop. Might credit that one to the field, but went right over the left shoulder there of UNC's goalkeeper, Stratton. NC State maintaining that 2-goal lead. 8-6 now with 5:42 left in this third quarter.
And I do think one force for NC State has been Hank Moss, continually getting the ball back out, setting up those plays, along with Chris Schultz. Those two guys have really exerted dominance on that offense.
Interesting call there, though, going in favor of NC State.
Just some movement on the face-off. It's crazy how strict they are about every
Absolutely.
little face-off detail.
Ryer with it on the right side of the field. He's just going to kick it right back up to the top. Right there to Bigelow. Going to play it to Dorian Gothard. That's the first time we've heard his name called today. Now NC State looking to just find the best opportunity possible. They don't have to score quickly. They can run time off the clock, keep this 2-goal lead. A beautiful pass through the middle to Ryer. Ryer's shot goes wide though. NC State able to maintain possession with Moss. Now we're going to see the offense set up there through Bigelow.
A goal here would be huge,
Absolutely.
putting them up by 3.
That'll be the largest lead for NC State on the night. Up by 3. It's interesting just because that just goes to show how tight this game has been. Ooh, not a good pass there. That's going to go over the head of everybody and out of play. UNC's going to get the ball now. That was a great NC State possession until it wasn't. Now, UNC keeping their same keeper though in Stratton.
I think that was their first long pass that worked.
Yeah, absolutely. All the other ones have been intercepted by NC State defensemen or midfielders. There as Zorky takes it. Ooh, that was a beautiful poke check there. Ooh, great by Rodriguez to get that ball for UNC rather.
And you can hear the bench saying, slow it down, trying to encourage UNC to set up their offense and run their plays properly like they're starting to do now.
Absolutely. And as a wayward pass still ends up with UNC, we're going to see a rip of a shot there from UNC. That was Lee. That's going to go out of play for UNC's ball.
That would have hurt.
That would have hurt. Oh, that was interesting little fight for the ball there that goes out of play. That's going to stay with UNC though.
NC State has to figure out a way to get the ball back here as they've had so many close chances to score as UNC has.
Absolutely. As UNC, as we mentioned, that they play it right through the middle. Beautiful shot there though from Oliver. He just kind of slung that one right to the top net. Beautiful movement there from UNC. 8-7 is the score now. 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Now, as this third quarter has so told, if this pattern continues, we'll see an NC State goal here shortly. Definitely an interesting turn of events though. That first quarter we did not see a lot of goals scored, and now it's just seemingly like a goal fest. May be able to attribute that to perhaps fatigue on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, there's been 7 goals in this quarter alone so far.
Now Benedict keeping the ball there for NC State as he puts everybody through his little spin cycle. Ryer's going to take a shot. That's going to go wide though. Ryer, Mr. Reliable, misses that one though. But NC State maintains possession. See Risk coming in for Staten. And now Schultz is back in. Schultz going to run the offense now. He's just going to take a quick run, trying to find something. Shot over the goal. That's a shot though. Ryer able to get to the touch line. It's going to stay with NC State. Oh, we already see a flag right off of that. I'm not sure what that was. It may have been the NC State player Moss jawing at the ref, but nonetheless. Ooh, beautiful pass. It went right over everybody's stick. Beautiful pass there from Tobin.
And Jake Wall scores yet again.
Great pass. You gotta, I mean, I thought the pass was more impressive than the goal, but just as I assumed, NC State gonna take that 2-goal lead right back.
No, the challenge now is stretching that lead even further to 3 or 4 goals to give them a better cushion going into the
Absolutely.
fourth.
And that's one thing you kind of want to keep in mind. Being the first game of the season, you don't know a lot of what your players are capable of. So get a nice, comfortable lead. Put some of the players who may not be on the starting lineup, have them show what they've got. Maybe some of them will surprise you, and you can truly see all the weapons that NC State has on this team.
And I think that's one of the reasons they put in a freshman goalie, just to see how he can perform in pressure.
Very good point indeed. UNC able to win that face-off though, as Oliver plays it down to Lee. Ooh, Lee back to Oliver in an ugly manner, but it still gets there. It's gonna go to Boone. Or excuse me, that is Kwok rather. And now, as you mentioned before, UNC looking to slow it down a little bit, get their offense going.
They can't slow it down too much though, because they only have 1 minute left in this quarter.
Ooh, beautiful save there from the freshman keeper. Babcock able to come away with it too. Plays it out to Scoggins. Now, Will gonna play it up to Ryer. That's gonna be a flag on Oliver for UNC. However, NC State gonna keep the ball here, try and get a free shot off. As Gothard.
There's not much time to make anything happen, but hopefully NC State can at least get a shot.
Absolutely, as we see a beautiful arching pass though go to NC State. Looks like a penalty on UNC though. It looks like one of the refs may have forgotten his flag over here on this side of the field. Oh, he's just gonna go ahead and call the foul on Oliver. And he's gonna have to walk all the way over here to pick up his flag. Now with these final 20 seconds left on the clock, NC State gonna have to make the most of this opportunity.
Somebody's gonna have to just drive the ball into the goal. There's not much else you can do.
Either take a shot from distance, or like you said, just maybe give it to Schultz, who can, as we've noticed, can really drive the ball down in. Walls is going to start with the ball on that left side of the net, though. I believe that's Walls. Yes. Walls is just going to take it in, kick it back out. We're going to see another kick out. They give it to Schultz. Schultz over to Baker, who loses the ball. Walls comes and gets it. Only 5 seconds left. He's going to have to get a shot off. Beautiful entry pass. Beautiful shot there. Walls straight on into Tobin. That was the best way to end that quarter. They finally get that 3-goal lead, up 10-7 going into this fourth quarter. You cannot ask for a better ending to that quarter. Now NC State gonna have to try and keep building off this momentum, ending that quarter with such a defiant goal, just threading the needle with that pass.
And you'll get to see that on the replay right now, as they're replaying that goal that was so phenomenal and crucial for the ending of the third quarter.
I'm not sure if you can hear the buzzer, but it was a literal buzzer beater in that as soon as the ball hit the back of the net, the sound went off. Truly sensational play there, and it almost was completely for naught, as they lost possession there in the middle of that last 20 seconds or so. Now, going into this last quarter though, UNC gonna have to try and mix things up a little bit. What do you think that they're gonna have to do just to try and get, they're not out of the game obviously, but get back into kind of their groove and try and get this lead back?
I think they have to find a way to shut players like Ryers and Jake Walls, and Schultz down, because those guys are just unstoppable right now.
They truly are being quite a force to be reckoned with right now. The interesting thing, I guess you could say, is that it's basically been a complete different series of quarters, really. UNC came out looking pretty dominant in the first quarter, taking that 2-1 lead. NC State proving more dominant in the second and third, though, now. Hopefully they can keep that dominance going through this last quarter. I don't see why not. They have put the gas pedal down to the floor and don't have any means of seeming to stop. Up 10-7 in these final 15 minutes left to play.
And even though they scored a total of, it was 10 goals in that quarter?
I believe it was 10 goals.
9 or 10, and I think even though they scored all those goals, it's still a relatively low-scoring game for a lacrosse team.
Absolutely. You know, lacrosse, you'll have upwards of 20 or so, and we're seeing a 10-7 result.
I think it just goes to show the lack of experience going on, the inability to put the ball in the net, but also the strength of the defenses.
Absolutely. NC State proving yet again that they are the face-off kings. It looks like they put Will in solely for the face-offs, and now they take him out as the sub comes on. We see Parker running the offense, kicks it out to Staten. Played across to Bigelow. Ooh, fake shot there from Walls. And now NC State, they can essentially, aside from, you know, getting the shot off with the shot clock, hold on to the ball for the entire duration of their offensive possession. Beautiful movement there by Staten. However, the shot not able to find the back of the net. Statton's going to get another shot, though. Beautiful save from Stratton. See another. Ooh, it's probably good for UNC that a timeout was called, just because it looks like they were about to lose possession there again. Interesting to call the timeout so soon into this fourth quarter, excuse me. Only a little over a minute in, and we're seeing a timeout called. Perhaps they. Oh, no timeout. Ref signaling the players to get back on the field. I'm not entirely sure what the ref was trying to get accomplished there. Maybe he was just trying to tire the players out. UNC, or State, excuse me, gonna hang on to the ball here with Staten. Kicking out to service. To Ryer, back to service. Now Staten running the offense. Beautiful pass into Ryer. Ryer proving himself yet again. That's going to be a hat trick for Evan Ryer. Absolutely sensational from the freshman. He's just unstoppable right now. And as you mentioned, they're going to have to find a way to kind of silence Ryer if they want to find any way back in this game, now down 4.
He just keeps driving, and granted there have been some amazing passes to him, setting him up for success, but ultimately the delivery has been flawless on Ryer's end.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I've only seen one shot he's taken that hasn't found the back of the net. Just proving himself to be quite the force as a freshman.
It's almost like a one-man show on shooting.
Absolutely. Ryer with 3, UNC with 7 as a whole. UNC going to win that face-off there, though, and they're just going to push it right straight on through. Ooh, not a good pass, though. That's going to go out of play for an NC State ball. That's not what you want to see with getting your first possession in a while. and you just throw the ball away like that. It's silly mistakes. Those silly mistakes that NC State were making early on in the game are now, they must have been transferred over to UNC. We're going to see Ryder play it to the middle. It's going to be Ballsbow. He's offsides, though. That's going to go forward to UNC.
I think he was thinking the ref wouldn't catch
Yeah,
that one.
maybe. UNC going to push the tempo. Almost a poke check there. UNC kicking it out. Well, once again, the defense telling him to slow it down, get the offense going, find the open man in the back of the net. Beautiful pass through, pass through the middle. However, it's intercepted by the NC State defenseman. That's Ballsbow. Ooh, that's going to be UNC running away with it. Beautiful check there. Ooh. He's able to maintain possession.
And there's a lot of UNC people on campus today with soccer playing #1 UNC against NC
That's
State.
correct.
And currently, a little score updates. UNC is losing to State 1-0.
Perfect. That's what you love to hear. I'm not biased, though.
Maybe.
I gotta support the Wolfpack in every way possible, right? That was a beautiful shot there, though. Even better save from Babcock.
Babcock has really shown his goalie prowess, only allowing 1 goal this quarter? No goals.
No goals this quarter.
This half.
Well, he's allowed the 3 goals, because it was 4-4 at halftime.
Yes.
He allowed the 3 goals last half. However, that's it. He's been doing very well. Now it's going to be a flag on UNC. NC State sticking with the ball, though. No pun intended. Going to see the flag, or the penalty enforced. NC State. Looking to extend their 4-goal lead with 11:25 left in the game. NC State up 11-7 now. Short stoppage of play. Everyone getting in their positions. Now we're going to see Schultz, or excuse me, now Schultz has the ball, but see NC State swinging around. That's Tobin to Schultz. Schultz out to Baker. Baker just going to whip it. That's going to go out of play in favor of the UNC. Ambitious effort. You got to try it sometimes.
I think they do have a lead where they can take some of those risks when needed, just to try different plays and formulas.
Right. What I kind of want to see is, as UNC loses possession there, I'd like to see some more NC State players come into the game that we haven't called yet, as Walls takes it down the right side of the field. Walls to Schultz. Schultz over to Baker. Baker gonna shoot. That's gonna go wide left. That fence back there taking a beating.
I think it does go to show, though, with the very limited amount of names calling, it does go to show those few sophomores and upperclassmen have really shown up today and played really strong. And
absolutely.
With the addition of Ryers and a few other freshmen, but I would say for the most part, the sophomores and juniors and seniors have really stepped up to the plate and shown the freshmen what level of play they expect the freshmen to meet.
And I'd say Ryer has all but met those expectations. NC State doing just fine without a coach. They'd probably be doing even better if they had their coach on the sidelines. Now Walls comes away with it, kicks it out to Schultz. Schultz scoops it up. to Schultz. Schultz over to Baker. Baker back to Schultz. Schultz looking to make a run. He's going to take a shot. That's going to go right over the net. NC State going to keep the ball there. The effort to keep possession is strong behind that NC State goal, as Tobin has just been there to every single goal as he takes the shot. Stratton there able to gather that one up.
I think we've seen a completely new NC State team this half. It's with 7 goals and a strong offensive presence. I don't recognize this team from the first half.
The second half, or excuse me, the second quarter, we got like a sneak preview of what's to come. First quarter, we'll talk about later. Yeah. I'm sure they'll hear a little bit about that one come their next practice. Why couldn't you guys done this before?
And I think it's just the warm-up, the nervousness, the excitement.
Ooh, as NC State gives one up there, slips that one right underneath Babcock.
They have to find a way to keep this lead with only 8 minutes left in the game.
UNC can come back. It's not it's unlikely. It's not impossible. Just with the way that NC State has been playing thus far. Really shown themselves as the more dominant side, especially in this second half. See another face-off. NC State not able to get that one though, as UNC just takes it straight to NC State. We're going to see the pass inside just little off, and NC State's going to run away with it. Kick it up to Babcock in goal. Babcock going to play it out to Benedict. He's going to take it down that left side. Ooh, good little deflection there. Wall's not going to come away with it though. Great check there from UNC. Ooh, not a great pass there. Now UNC going to play it all the way across the field. Ooh, great deflected pass there. NC State running away with it. They're going to play it in the middle to Moss. Moss is going to play it over to Walls. Walls is just going to beat the keeper. One-on-one, you're never going to stop that one.
And the fans were excited about that one.
I'm excited about that one. That was beautiful movement there, just to, and such an unselfish play too. Moss could have taken that one for himself, but he saw the defender coming in on his left, kicked it out to the oncoming Walls. And Walls is able to just juke the keeper out, fake it, and put it right lower left. We're going to see another UNC timeout. NC State up 12-8 with 7:42 left. And like you said, this NC State team is just juiced up right now. They look like a completely different side than we saw in that first quarter.
UNC is probably a little bit nervous with only 7 minutes left to go and 4 goals to make up while trying to hold off NC State the rest of the game.
Absolutely. NC State doing very well this second half as the teams talk out their strategies. You got to think that UNC, obviously, you know, they want to play their offense, but at the same time, they got to be quick about it if they want to get back in this game. NC State doing extraordinarily well on the offensive third. They just have so many players who can do so much in Schultz, Walls, Ryer, Moss. And it's super interesting just in the fact that this is a mix of both older and younger players doing so well thus far. It looked like it just took them that first quarter just to get those kinks out. You see Benedict dancing on the sidelines. Or not sidelines, excuse me, on the field.
And it sure is a cold one tonight.
Yes, that, and you got to wonder, that may have played a sort of role in this game, just because this is the first true couple days of fall we've had. It's not been 80 or 90 degrees like it has been lately, and these players have been practicing in that hot weather, and all of a sudden it gets cold. You're thinking, is that going to play any role? We're going to see a NC State attack here. Beautiful save, though, from Stratton. UNC able to come away with that one. He's going to find the open man on the right. And now it's just going to go right out of play. Not a good pass there as Moss comes to get it. Moss going to kind of set up a little bit. We're going to see Risk come in. He's going to play it right through the middle to a cutting Walls, who's just going to throw it. Hey, goal. Wrong goal, though. Just overshot that one just a little bit. Probably feeling too juiced after his goal a few moments ago. You see the long pass from Stratton go right to the NC State defenseman. And now he's just going to take it for himself. And he's going to go right back to his position. And NC State's defense not really had much to do this final few minutes. As a Risk. NC State working it around. Service over to Gothard. Gothard over to Risk. NC State still keeping possession as Walls in the back of the net. They're going to play it out. That's going to be intercepted. Ooh, great check there. But Risk able to come away with it. Now Walls. Walls with a beautiful move. Beats the keeper, though. Walls with another goal right after his last one. Man, he's eating. NC State now up 5 with 5.5 left to go. They're just pulling away with this one at this point. Up 13-8 against this UNC side.
But in lacrosse, goals can happen so quickly, so the game isn't over yet, although it looks promising for the Wolfpack.
Absolutely. Not over yet, but anything is possible. As we've seen so far, goals can be scored just like that. We'll have to see if UNC can't capitalize. They're unable to win that face-off, but they still come away with it. I believe that's going to go against NC. That's going to go against UNC, and NC State's going to keep possession. That's unfortunate for UNC as Baker comes in. Now NC State holding on to the ball. That's Moss. Moss over to Walls. Walls out to Risk. Now Schultz. Schultz making a move. He's going to take a shot. That's going to go wide. However, NC State keeping possession with Walls.
Looks like Stratton got a goal stick on it to block that ball.
Now Risk plays it inside. That's going to go off the helmet of the UNC player. He doesn't know what's going on, but UNC coming away with it. They're going to push the tempo. Ooh, I believe that was a fair tackle, though. That was Flessner getting more or less decked. Ooh, and now we're going to see some physicality. It's just turning into an all-out brawl here. Now we're going to see some flags come out. And now it's just turning into an absolute shoving match. We're going to see.
The refs had enough of that there.
As soon as UNC got the ball, they were like, all right, we're going to pause this for a second.
It's like NC State got that.
Yes, NC State's going to come away with the ball. Baker now awaiting orders from the ref to begin. 4:08 left in the game.
And that call was crucial as UNC was driving, getting close to scoring, and lost that opportunity.
They were a little too physical, apparently. Now Baker. Goes to Tobin, back to Chris Schultz. Back to Baker and Schultz again. Baker, Walls, just gonna strike that one.
Just
little right. NC State keeping the ball on this UNC half, though. You gotta think that these defenders and midfielders for UNC are getting tired as Schultz plays it into the middle of Baker. Baker's gonna take a shot, and that's just gonna go wide. Looks like that's gonna be UNC ball, though. Temperature keeps dropping here on this Friday night out at Method Road Field. NC State currently up 5 against UNC Chapel Hill with 3:30 left in this lacrosse match. UNC getting a nice offensive possession. That's going to be off or not, as it's going to go NC State's way. Now NC State coming away with it. They're going to play it up. Ooh, a little bit of maybe miscommunication there, or he just tripped. Wall's going to slow things down a little bit. Kick it over to Tobin, who's going to swing it on over to Staten. Staten lobs it right over, all the way to the back to Moss, I believe that is. Risk going to get it from Moss. Beautiful shot there from Risk.
And they're just running away with the game.
Absolutely up by 6 now, 14-8 with a little over 3 minutes left. NC State pouring it on UNC right now. UNC can't seem to find an answer.
The second half, they scored 10 goals.
Absolutely, 10 to UNC's 4 this half. And you got to think NC State or more or less can continue to do what they're doing. You'd think they might sub in perhaps some players who may not see as much action. We're going to see another face-off, which NC State again has seemingly run away with as they continue to do so. Never mind, that's going to go for UNC, who's just going to take it straight up the middle. Time is not on their side. They're going to take a shot. That's going to go wide. UNC going to keep the ball on NC State's half, though, something they have not been able to do very much in this fourth quarter of action. And obviously, UNC wants to run their offense. They don't have a lot of time to do so.
Only 2.5 minutes left in the whole game.
Absolutely, as Mousy kicks it on over to Kwok. He's going to throw it back to Mousy. UNC trying to find an open slot in NC State's big defense. Ooh, he tries to fling it in there, but NC State deflects it. It comes to the UNC player rather, but beautiful save there from Babcock. And there goes Ballsbow taking off with it. Walls tries to find the cutter, but nothing going there for Biglow, excuse me. A minute 50 remaining as UNC gets another possession coming out of their half. UNC, whoop, he almost had it until he didn't. Now UNC taking the ball down the field is Corpening. He's going to find Mousy. As UNC only has a minute 12 to make something of this offensive possession. We're going to see a shot go straight over. That's going to stick with UNC though. UNC got a little over a minute. Obviously at this stage in the game, you may just want to get a goal just to kind of, boost that confidence going into maybe next match. UNC done very well without a coach, it being 14-8, able to get 8 in on that NC State defense.
And I just received news that State just beat UNC, #1 in the nation in soccer. So
Beautiful.
Let's see if they can beat them.
In lacrosse as well. It's looking likely. NC State seemingly going to run away with the night in multiple sports. That's something you just love to see as a non-biased NC State fan, of course. Wall's going to take it
Our
down.
rare sight for us NC State fans.
Absolutely. They can have basketball until soon. Nonetheless, we have 8 seconds left on the clock. NC State's more or less just going to run out the rest of this. The players probably are a little unaware, but that's going to be the horn. That's going to do it for this match tonight. NC State wins it 14-8 against UNC Chapel Hill Club Lacrosse. Beautiful performance there from NC State. We'll be back after a few messages.
Welcome back to our PackTV broadcast of Club Men's Lacrosse. NC State able to come away with the win there against UNC Chapel Hill. 14-8 is the final score. I'm Blake Chollerton, alongside me, Laura Scheck. It was a fantastic match. NC State able to run away with it towards the end there. Clearly, they had to get some kinks out in that first quarter of action. What did you see throughout the course of the game?
Yeah, I think the first half was a very rough performance by NC State and UNC, showing the freshness of the team and the lack of experience. Even the seniors struggled as they were warming up to the season too in that first half. And then as you transition to the second half, I think they just came alive. They had players that typically were not performing at the level that they should have been, stepping up to the plate, and then they had a stand-up performance by some freshmen, such as Ryer, and then Jake Walls really stepped up to the plate.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that was a big question coming into this game. How are these freshmen and sophomore and underclassmen going to perform in this game? Their first college club match, and they surprisingly lived up to the expectations. As you mentioned, Ryer, he was our Wolfpack Outfitters player of the game. Evan Ryer with 3 goals and an assist or 2 to add to his name. He nets the hat trick. What did you see from Ryer? He had an excellent game so far as a freshman and just kind of dominated the offensive third.
I think for him, he just brought a whole new level of excitement to the field and a level of experience. You could tell that he had really worked hard on his own to get to that level and bring the team to the expertise that they needed, and really stepped to the plate. I can't even imagine what he's going to be like in these next couple of years. It's going to be scary for teams that have to face him.
Absolutely. And one thing also that we kind of mentioned was that NC State's goalkeeper, Wagner, was playing with a broken thumb for a majority of the game. He was in there for the first half and was replaced in the second half by Babcock. Not necessarily because he was doing poorly, maybe just because of the thumb, but Babcock, being the replacement goalkeeper, had quite an amazing game. Only allowed 4 goals, the same amount as Wagner. It was a great overall defensive stand by NC State. Beautiful offense, beautiful defense. That usually translates into a win for sure.
I think there's going to be a pretty intense battle for a couple positions, including attack, with some freshmen coming into the mix, and then also goalkeeper. I think Babcock performed just as well as senior Wagner.
And that's one thing that I was going to mention is that Leadership played a pretty big role. Chris Schultz was the president, and he was more or less the facilitator throughout the entire game. That's one thing that you love to see with a president of your team. You want to see them fulfill that leadership role, especially coming into a game with a lot of underclassmen.
For sure. Hopefully they can bring this momentum into the rest of their fall season. I was talking to the coach before the game. He said their fall season is a little bit more of seeing who can perform and figuring out their starting lineup for their spring season, which is really their intense competitive conference season.
And this was pretty intense and competitive itself, that's for sure. But as always, I'm Blake Challerton, alongside me, Laura Scheck. This is our PackTV broadcast, and we will see you next week.